It's a case of not too young to run or not yet ready.
My life starts very early because when I be there 10 years old, police enter my village, scatter the place.
To free movement.
Now violation of my right, my arrest, my detention,
Yes.
my restriction.
Now since that night, now I make decision as a 10-year-old say, when I reach time, I go fight to ensure safety.
We still dey under neo-colonial control. Now we can't dey inside internal recolonization by our.
Just 1 week to the 2023 general elections, there are reports that about 12 governorship candidates of the African Action Congress have disowned the party's presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore, alleging that he is undemocratic and inexperienced to be president of Nigeria. Yesterday on Newsday, we spoke with one of the concerned governorship candidates, Iboro Otu. Here is a bit of what he said.
It's quite sad that we are having to face this now. But because we owe this responsibility to Nigerians and to our people, we believe that we should let them know the choices that they have so that when the decisions are being made by them at the polls, they can know that at least we told them. And this has been going on ever since last year, and we have been trying to manage it ever since the presidential candidate, especially, who also doubles as a chairman of the party, illegally and unilaterally expelled some governorship candidates of the party. And we had to ask, other governorship candidates had to reach out to ask if this was the right thing to do, looking at the fact that all the governors came together and wrote a letter to the National Working Committee asking them, look, that we needed to expand the party in terms of having the state structures, the ward and unit structures, having the executives in place, and also some other questions to see how we could all get together to grow the party since it was quite small. But unilaterally, Sowore decided to send some people away and destabilize our elections. And over time, this happened last year, December 31st. The other governors that tried to get across to resolve this issue in the past 6 weeks have decided to come to our side and say, look, we don't think with the presidential elections, this man represents what Nigeria wants at the moment, which is unity, someone that has the leverage and the understanding of bringing people together to work towards a common goal, and also to let Nigerians know that we independently are also, because there are allegations now which borders on blackmail, where they are using institutions like Sahara Reporters to say that we are selling out or we are no more running in our different states. Of course, we are not selling out, we are not sellouts. We are running in our elections, but we are telling Nigerians that we are no more backing Sowore as a presidential candidate, because the same way he's insulting other candidates and other people across board, it's the same way he's insulting us and insulting our intelligence with regards to democracy.
AAC's Iboro Otu there for his response to the crisis engulfing his party. We are now joined by Omoyele Sowore, the presidential candidate of African Action Congress. It's good to have you with us as always.
Thank you very much for that.
So the claims by 12 of your party colleagues against your presidential candidacy are quite strong. Can you give us more insight on this? And according to Otu there, it's been lingering for about a year. And why is this coming to light just now, we're barely days to the polls?
Well, let me just clarify a few things. One, even Iboro hasn't been a member of our party for up to a year. Our party was similarly hijacked after 2019 election, and we fought for 3 years in the Court of Appeal, and we won on June the 2nd. At that time, they weren't members of the party. What we did, in bringing them back together, everybody in the party, was to accept some of the candidates that were even part of those who hijacked the party as a means of accommodation. So he was one of the people who just recently joined the party, not up to a year ago. You can ask him that. And secondly, he was expelled by the state arm of the party, not the national body, because he went with the chairman of the party in his state to negotiate with the PDP to sell his ticket for 3.2 billion. I forwarded it to him, and he never responded to it today. So, because I know him personally, we play table tennis at my place in Abuja on a regular basis. But he couldn't respond to it, and I was like, wow, this is quite heavy. How would you be negotiating away your ticket? And what you should know about politicking is that this is a week for cash out. Suddenly, this guy has never been invited to your show to talk about his programs for Akwa Ibom. Suddenly, he's now a national figure. Somebody is always behind it. That's how they try to hijack our party. In 2019, and we fought and won back. So I am not interested in talking about someone who's expelled by the state branch of the party as far back as January. He confessed that.
But he said that he actually accused you of using Sahara reporters, accused you of almost, not in exact words, but he always was saying that you have become a dictator in your party.
That's not true.
And
if I was a dictator, why would I accept somebody who was not even a member of the party to join the party and take the governorship candidate's position in the party? Is because I am a very open-minded person.
But the Sahara reporters publish stories about...
No, you see, what you guys should get right.
Yes.
It's just like for me to come here and say somebody is using ARISE TV. Would you accept that? That would be... an insult on your professional integrity. Sahara Reporters is like every other platform, ARISE, Punch, a news reporting, body. And they report on news. Punch carried it when they were expelled. Doesn't mean that I'm using Punch. That is how news is. You brought him on your platform yesterday.
Yes, you did.
It's just like for me to come here and say, Unduka Obiagwena is using this guy against me. How would that sound? Yes, Sahara Reporters is a platform. Sahara Reporters report all the parties, including reports against me, and I found that because that's how news platforms operate. Just the same way you brought him here yesterday. He was making all this unfounded allegation. And I'm here today because you invited me to come and respond to it. This is not the most, this is not the best way to use my time, 2 weeks to election. But I understand that we have a duty to keep speaking to Nigerian people, to be wary of this kind of activities. What was it that you did 2 weeks ago? You brought Najatu against the APC here, right? The APC people out there insulting you. But you were doing your professional job, all right? Najatu spoke her mind, the other parties speak their mind, and we've all moved on. Why is it that Najatu is no longer trending? It's because other issues have come. But she had legitimate position to present to the public. He came here and presented it. Some people agree with her, some people disagree with her. I am not here to dispute the fact that he has a right to speak about things that are bothering him, but I'm just letting you know that the fact that Sahara Reporters reported that somebody is engaged in fraud doesn't mean that I'm using Sahara. That would be an insult on Sahara Reporters that have been around for 14 years. You guys are celebrating your 10 years. Give us some respect. We're older than you.
All right, very good, Omoyele. Now, the African Action Congress, irrespective of what we're going through right now, you can't ignore the fact that some damage has been done. This close to the election. Let's face it. You're coming here to clarify that.
No,
we appreciate that.
You invited me.
Yes,
that's the reason.
definitely.
I didn't come here because
so,
I didn't barge into your studio.
Very good. So
this is politics.
So, but how would you, reassure the electorate, especially your supporters, going into the elections?
The electorates know their candidates. They know that I can never engage in so many. These same allegations were thrown against me in 2019. Some of them came here and said, Sowore is this and that. And then they took the party on the basis of that. For 3 years, like I told you, what did we do as law-abiding? We went to the Court of Appeal and said they have no right to take over a party we founded. The Court of Appeal agreed with us. That's why I'm contesting in the election this year. If they had gotten away with it, let me just give you small examples.
Yeah.
After the party was taken away from us, illegitimate by INEC collusion and the government, Wike was the one who funded, and I know you say, don't make such allegations, but I'm just saying. What did they do with the party? In Bayelsa, our party was made to endorse a PDP candidate. In Kogi, they endorsed an APC candidate, those who hijacked the party. You guys were aware of it, you were following it, because they know that our party, in the hands of the right leaders of the party, would never participate in such ignominy. So this is the same thing they are doing now. They've looked at it and seen that about 4 or 5 political parties today endorsed one candidate. They approached us, come and endorse us, whatever you always know. No, we are not endorsing any candidate. Our agenda is different. We are not similar to you. The Labour Party approached us through Donyo Okukpe, when they started out, we said we can't be part of the Labour Party or their candidates because we don't agree on how to move Nigeria forward. So when they can't get this done, then they start hiring individuals to go and make it look like there's division in the party. No, there's no such thing. First, I wanted to correct it. There's no 12th person with Ibo, whomever came here yesterday. All our candidates, apart from the 4 who expelled in January, and you can Google this, are with us. There's no question about that. And the reason they were expelled was because they were negotiating to sell. They were supposed to even meet Kenyamo 3 days ago to discuss how to port over to. They said it even at their press conference that they will announce their candidate for the election. Do you think people do that for free in this country 2 weeks to election? When you are supposed to be campaigning to be governor of your state, you are negotiating with how to sell, how to decide for the political party of which you are just a candidate, which candidates to endorse for the election. Don't you guys know this trick by now?
But how do you stop this? It's still going on. They're still coming out to say all of this. How is this impacting on those individual states and your party as a whole?
This is the last time, for instance, that I would discuss it. And I did it because you invited me. And I need to explain to the public what is going on. You will get more against me, against other candidates, I mentioned to you Najatu in APC. There was a time the Ogun State people came here on Labour Party. Didn't you listen to them? Yeah. As they ended the campaign in the Labour Party, they came here and said that Labour Party pays 100 million naira per.
Okay, now let's.
So I just want you to understand that. So don't make it look like, you have problem. No, there's no problem. And if there is, this is the kind of problem we are used to.
Okay, so talk to me, because as a journalist,
yes,
covering and also observing proceedings before, during, and after elections.
Yes.
2019, you were a little bit more out there than you are in 2023. Is it as a result of these internal wranglings and internal democracy? That's one.
Not at all.
No, that's one. And secondly, I would like to find out from you. In 2019, there seemed to be a wave with this whole not too young to run.
Yes.
And we saw more young people throw their hats into the ring,
yes,
saying that they wanted to run.
Yes.
For you, because you stood there were talks about coming together, forming a coalition. That did not materialize. 2023, it seems we are back to status quo again.
Yes.
And we're having older politicians come in as against younger ones. Please try to explain to me, first of all, talk about the internal wranglings. How did they affect the momentum, your build up to this particular elections? And secondly, talk to us about the young people. What happened in this election?
The first question I should ask is what happened to all the young people in 2019? How is it that of all the young candidates in 2019, I'm the only one who came back? That's the first question you ask yourself. And I came back against, a variety of odds. I was detained for 5 months. I was restricted for 3 years. I was shot at. My brother was killed. How is it that it's possible? It is because I was different. And that's the same thing I was saying in 2019. When you say, come together, I saw through it. I went to just one meeting, and I knew it was packaged by the same elders. Because in fact, one of the things they said at Charlie Boy's house was one of the candidates said, the elders are willing to give power to you guys, but they don't want any young person who is antagonistic. That was the day I left the meeting at Charlie Boy's house. I knew this was an arranged system. And they went ahead and chose whomever they wanted. And Kingsley Moghalu disagreed and left I wasn't part of that beyond that. Secondly, regarding whether I was more popular in 2019, we're doing better now, I'll tell you. What is absent from 2023 is that it's harder to get coverage because the money bags are in control of both, the political space as we know it.
Are you saying that
and
the money bags were not present in 2019?
They were, but the truth is that this time around, the media is covering less of the new candidates and brighter ideas. They are focusing on the same people who failed the country for over the last 60 years. And we must admit that. It gets us a lot of work to get to talk to you guys in the media. I am not in any way accusing ARISE TV. I think you've been fair to us, or you've been fair to our party. But at the same time, you are the one projecting people who don't come for interviews as frontliners. People who don't come for debates, frontliners. You know all these things. But behind, the scenes, you know how you package the scenes. The thing is that any serious country will not project people who cannot even answer simple questions on a platform like this as frontrunners. I can guarantee you that I know of at least 3 candidates, or like major 2 candidates, as they call themselves, who have never been to this studio. Yes. The only one that you interviewed, Atiku, you had to go to his house. Why didn't you come to my house?
Atiku was here in the studio.
When was that?
Atiku was here in the studio.
Only once.
No, you said they have never been here. No, they have never been here.
No,
Atiku was here alongside.
I wasn't aware when he came.
Atiku has been
but
here.
I know the only one I saw was that you went to his house.
No, that was a long time ago. Atiku was here. One of our town hall meetings.
You know what serious candidates and serious electoral process against? You keep badgering the candidates. In the US, there's a Sunday morning like this. Every candidate that hasn't come there can never be regarded as a serious candidate. So what I'm saying is that you must subject all of us to equal amount of time and not give time to people. Every day you discuss with APC, you discuss with PDP. Those of us who want to talk to you, we have to beg you to appear on your shows. But the candidates themselves don't come to you.
You've just alluded to the fact that
I said you
didn't have to beg, but you were invited.
I said earlier that you have been fair to us, but you could do better.
The candidates that have ideas. Before me, sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you almost saying that? Are you throwing this at the doorstep of the media in Nigeria?
No, absolutely.
Because you are saying that the reason why we're not seeing more of you out there,
yes,
as we saw in 2019, is that the media probably have refused to cover your activities.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
I'll
give you an example.
Yes.
And I don't like accusing any media company in another media company's place, but I'll say this. Like TVC News in Lagos, they've never covered our campaign this year. During the 2019 election, they covered every time they could see us. They invited me once and cancelled on me because I said something about their owner. And that was during the National Peace Committee event where I said, this man slept throughout the event. But that should not be the case. The media should be even-handed enough to allow everybody in an election cycle. It's in fact the constitutional right of candidates to be given equal amount of time. NTA has done more, even surprisingly, even though not many people are watching NTA these days. But when we put the blame on your doorstep, accept and hopefully you'll adjust some of these things. It is almost criminal to claim that people who don't speak to any issue affecting the country, who don't talk about this issue as is required of them, are paraded as frontliners. That's my issue with the media.
If I may just come in
here,
what are your strengths going into the elections? In the United States, we have a scenario whereby there are parties we have never even heard of.
Yes.
But yet, when it comes to local government elections, county elections, they hold sway there, as opposed to the other big two, the Democrats and, of course, the Republicans. So why the focus on presidential elections? Why the focus on gubernatorial elections? Why not from the bottom up? You could gain more footing there, especially when you appeal to the youths.
Well, we're coming back to the same issue that we accuse ourselves of. How can you look at me on TV and I'm espousing ideas I can make this country a better country? And you then decide that I must go to the local government so that the worst human being in the country can be president of the country. Doesn't make sense. Let's keep ourselves well informed about how these things are done. That ideas should be the currency that runs a country.
Well, are the people ready to, attain that idea?
No. How do you blame the people when some of the reasons why the people disbelieve that they can progress or choose the right candidates is because you keep telling them that the worst is the best. How can you see a 52-year-old man who has consistently fought for democracy, good things in Nigeria? I'm 52 years old, on the 16th of February. And you are saying I must go to local government. And you want an 80-year-old man who needs assistance to stand up, to be president of Nigeria. And when things fall apart, you are looking for Sowore after the election to come and help you fix the country. You need Sowore to fight, but you don't need Sowore to lead so that the country will not have to go through the kind of harrowing experience we are going through. We are in the middle of a major crisis in the monetary department of our economic system. We have no fuel to go to election. The people who caused the problem, you want them to continue in leadership. the people who want to solve the problem, you say they should go to the local government. I don't get it. I don't get the logic behind this.
All right, before we go, just
Yes.
quickly.
Yes.
In the 2019 election,
Yes.
you actually polled about 33,000.
They are located
in 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay, they are located.
Yes, it
Do you
was-
think? Do you think you will be able to pull more numbers this time around?
In 30 seconds,
People
please.
are tired of this system. No, don't let me talk now about an election. 2019 was...
Because you are running, hopefully, to win.
2019,
all right.
2019 is a selection. I keep telling you, you should accept that.
Very good.
So that we can move. If we
Unfortunately-
have real election, there's no way
Would
any
you-
of these guys...
would you pull more numbers this time
Aaron,
around?
we've run out of
I'm
time.
going to win. That's the goal.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
That's the goal.
On that
right.
final note, Omoyele Sowore, presidential candidate to African Action Congress, AAC. It's good to have you with us on the
It's
show.
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
All right.
Nigeria, they use computer. The leaders of Nigeria, they use radio where they turn the knob.